Whether you're thinking of divorcing your narcissistic spouse, right in the middle of it, or have finalized your divorce, the tactics are the same. If this sounds like you need to know about Christine Hammond's new masterclass series, How to Survive a Divorce with a Narcissist. In this 4-hour video series, Christine Hammond introduces the toxic tactics that narcissists use to abuse, humiliate, and manipulate you, and teaches you exactly how to recognize these tactics and navigate through them with mastery and confidence. How to Survive a Divorce with a Narcissist is a deep dive, a masterclass that'll show you how narcissists use tactics like bait and switch, scare tactics, roller coaster ride, and child's play. It's How to Survive a Divorce with a Narcissist, a 4-hour recorded video masterclass with Christine Hammond. For more information or to purchase today, just go to growwithchristine.com/narcissism. That's growwithchristine.com/narcissism. This masterclass will change your life. Again, that's growwithchristine.com/narcissism. This is Understanding Today's Narcissist, brought to you in part by psychcentral.com. And now here's your host, Christine Hammond.
Today I thought we'd talk about how to survive when quarantined with a narcissist. Since so many of us are stuck at home now, not everyone has a great situation of being able to leave the house. And that might mean that you are in this situation, just like we're going to talk about Ben in a second, where he is stuck at home with a narcissist. So let's talk about him. After being married to his narcissistic wife for over 10 years and quarantined at home with her for the last several, Ben had had enough. His whole body started to reject his spouse's self-centeredness by plaguing him with intense pain and repeated anxiety attacks that he could no longer ignore. He wanted to go to the doctor, but his symptoms didn't constitute an office visit. Instead, via telehealth, his doctor concluded that the pain and anxiety were, unfortunately, psychosomatic. This, of course, infuriated him even more. He spent years learning how to effectively cater to his narcissistic wife so that the anger rants could be minimized. He worked out, ate right, tried to get adequate sleep, and maintained a simple job that reduced his overall stress. Still, his back was in constant pain, and his anxiety attacks worsened, especially at home. He decided to speak to his therapist. Ben was suffering from a type of post-traumatic stress due to the repeated abuse that he received from dealing with his narcissistic spouse. In order to cope, Ben had stopped consciously listening to what his wife said. However, his subconscious continued to absorb the verbal and mental assaults. She would say to him, "You're so stupid. I can't believe I married such a dummy." Or, "I'm only letting you go out for a few hours without me because you can't be trusted." Or, "Aren't you remembering that right? I have the perfect memory." Once he started to realize what she was actually saying to him, his anxiety and now anger intensified. The solution to his stress was to relax. So here's what he learned. First, take a chapter out of work. Most full-time jobs have built-in benefits of at least 2 weeks of vacation per year. They have days off for national holidays and paid time off that's to be utilized as needed. The intensity of being married to a narcissist is similar to having another full-time job, as the narcissist tends to dump on their spouse everything that they don't want to handle. Frequently, the spouse neglects themselves for the sake of the narcissist by justifying that the reduced anger is actually worth the effort. Unfortunately, life doesn't work this way, as most spouses only wind up exhausted in the end. So Ben decided to change his work schedule at home so that he was actually working while she was sleeping. This gave him a break from some of the badgering that he was enduring. So he took a chapter out of work and he rearranged his schedule so that he didn't have to be around her as often. Number 2, take 2 weeks off. Ideally, Ben wanted to go on a vacation without his wife, but the stay-at-home order prevented him from leaving. Furthermore, he was fearful of suggesting the idea to her because of the backlash. Instead, Ben used his aging parents, whom his wife didn't like, as an excuse to get away for an extended weekend. By breaking down the 2 weeks into several extended weekends, Ben was able to get a much-needed break from his narcissistic spouse. This time away was essential for Ben to remember his own wants, desires, dreams, and perception. Narcissists have a way of convincing their spouses that their perception of reality is the only way to think, but it is often a distorted perception that needs correction, not conformity. So Ben, how he got away and how he got his 2 weeks off was by doing 2 different weekends, extended weekends, and going to see his parents during this time. Since his parents were older, they needed a little bit of attention anyway and very much welcomed the visit with their son. Number 3, take a daily break. Even full-time jobs recommend several breaks during the day to rejuvenate, eat, and use the restroom, knowing that this actually increases productivity in the end. But now, with everyone at home, including the kids, Ben was off and running with no stopping until bedtime, thanks to his wife. Keeping work in mind, Ben began to take longer breaks during the day and do most of his work after the kids went to bed. He even found several safe places in his house to hide, as his narcissistic wife would say, that gave him a chance to catch his breath and think about what he was doing. One of the typical abuse tactics of narcissism is to generate confusion so that the only voice somebody hears is the narcissist. By taking a break from them, a physical break from them, this technique is extremely beneficial so that Ben can start to hear his own voice again. So the third point was to find ways to take daily breaks. Even short breaks are very much welcome. There have been a lot of memes out there about walking the dog, but believe it or not, walking the dog is a great excuse to be able to take a break and get away. Number 4, take out friends. The last part of Ben's transformation was to spend a couple of nights a week on phone calls or Zoom calls with some of his friends. He began to see that even at work, there were built-in days off during the week to rest. Since relaxing at home was difficult, he found solace in spending time with a few of his buddies who understood his predicament. This support was the final piece in restoring his physical and mental health. So Ben found, number 4, that by taking out some time to be able to talk to his friends, he could normalize what he was going through and his experiences, especially with friends who understood what was happening with him. So here are the 4 tips again. Take a chapter out of work and actually take some time off. Look and see where you can take some time off during the day and how you can rearrange your schedule. Number 2, if you can't take a week off, take a couple weekends off and go see some friends, some aging parents, somebody who might actually need some help during this time. Number 3, find ways to take little daily breaks during the day. Find places that you can escape to so that you can get a breath. And number 4, find ways to connect with friends who understand what you're going through. Relaxation can take on many forms, but when living with a narcissist, it is an essential element to survival, especially now. Without it, the stress builds up into huge piles that are difficult to remove. So please, take some time off, and this is how you too can survive when you are quarantined with your narcissist.
Thanks for listening to Understanding Today's Narcissist with Christine Hammond. Brought to you in part by psychcentral.com. For more information, visit growwithchristine.com.